Welcome back to Scene Invaders. I'm Bagface. That is Dan. And today we are talking episode 3 of House of the Dragon. And we are bringing you the top 5 what the moments in the episode. It is going to be awesome. We are covering House of the Dragon every week. So if you enjoy House of the Dragon and you like to laugh at some crazy moments in the show, because there are a lot of them, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Let's get to it. Right off the bat, the start of the episode, we get two houses that are fighting each other. They start bickering over
hmm
rocks that have been moved over the line
hmm
for the border. But you think it's just going to be like, oh, one of them's going to get stabbed. Maybe they'll break out into a brawl. And then just hard cuts to a field just
Decimated.
littered, just
Yeah,
littered with bodies, which
right.
was insane. I know I think it's the Burning Mill battle or something. It has a name, a particular name in the books. I'm not as big of a nerd. If you know what the actual name of the battle is, comment it below so you could teach us how to be better Game of Thrones fans. But yeah, that was the first moment I was like, okay, this episode's gonna be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it started off
Uh,
pretty hot, but apparently, like those houses, those two families were bickering back and forth and like looking for a
yeah,
reason to fight. And it's
yeah,
like, all right, this is our reason, let's fight. And then there's just hundreds of dead bodies all over the place. But like, I guess that's like the first official act of war. You know what I mean? It pretty much
yeah.
is.
It's like I guess later in the episode, you get the explanation from the guy at Harrenhal when he's talking to Damon, and he's like, a sin begets sin begets sin begets sin kind of thing, which I thought was really interesting. And then you have Rhaenys talking to Rhaenyra when she's just saying like, when are they going to say this war started? Like, was it when your son took Aemon's eye? Was it when he killed Luke
Luke.
on the
Yeah.
dragon? Is it when we killed their baby in the crib?
The
Like,
infant.
no one
Yep.
will really know when it starts, right? I wish we did top what the moments from the first episode and the second episode because there's so many good
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're here now.
I
So
just have to
good. All
I
right.
have to say though, like I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. Like huge, huge Sunday, every night, appointment television. I didn't watch House of the Dragon at first, and you convinced me. You were like, yo, binge season one, let's cover season two. And I was a little bit like hesitant at first. I'm like, I gotta binge this whole season. As soon as I started, I got right back into my Thrones mode. Like right
Yeah.
back into it. It's so good. It gives you that feeling like you had previous Thrones, not the last couple episodes of Thrones. It gives you
Yeah.
that feeling, and I'm happy that it's back. And I have that feeling again. And this is like 172 years. It started anyway, 172 years before Daenerys was born. And now we're probably like 150 so years before she was born because season one
Yeah.
was like 20 so years. So it just lit my flame right back up. I'm right back where I was.
It's crazy how easily they just got that formula right back on track. It was like, oh, did
Yeah.
you forget? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
The little
so
theme
good.
song that plays, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm happy they
Hello.
kept the theme song too. I'm happy they kept it.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
little iffy at first. I was like, "Oh, you're not giving me your own theme song," and then I just love hearing it every week. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
me
"All
too.
right,
Me
let's
too.
go." Number two, what the moment of the episode? This one's not as big. I think it's going to be a bigger play down the line. It's going to play with the story a little more. But the White Worm being added on to Rhaenyra's council, I thought was a huge what the moment. I saw it coming the episode before because she just seems like such a critical character to the story. And like, how would you give up that asset? Someone that knows the Red Keep that well and has that many spies around the city, knows the ins and outs of the small folk, and also can get access to Highborn. So I thought that was a pretty huge what the moment. I'm pretty excited too. I like her as a character.
I do too, and she's risen from humble beginnings. She started off as
Hmm.
this side character, and then remember Damon was going to marry her in season one, and then
Yeah.
she keeps evolving, and then she showed where Aegon was, so that they could find him when he didn't want to be king, and now
And then
she's
they burn
on
her house down.
right, and now she's on
Yeah.
Rhaenyra's side. So she's had quite the arc, and I like that with Thrones characters when they build
I
people
love
up.
her contrast with Criston Cole too. He's just completely failed himself upwards. He just is like the biggest fuck up and somehow is now hand of the king. And
Yeah.
she's just working her ass off and just struggling the entire time and kind of just trying to do right and be valuable to everybody. And she's finally in a position where she can affect things. It's
So,
pretty lit.
as we know, as Thrones fans, they don't hesitate to kill off major characters. My
Yep.
prediction for season two is Criston Cole gets killed this season.
Oh
This
man, I hope
season.
so. I hate him. He's
This
such a
season, he's
little
done.
bitch. I have a prediction too. We can do like good predictions for the next episode at the end, but I have a prediction for the next episode that I think is going
Okay.
to come true. All right, our next what the moment, number 3, Moondancer and Bela seeing Cole running through the field. this was a crucial moment to me. I think the Greens are making a move, and we finally have Rhaenyra's side knowing that they're making a move. We have that
Mhm.
confirmation, and just the swoop down, and she chases them right into the forest. I could see a bunch of posts on Twitter of everyone being like, "I would have burnt that whole forest down if I was her."
Yeah.
And the level of restraint, because I'm sure everyone's trying not to be the one that's starting the war right now. Everyone's a little restrained, but not restrained. Everybody's on edge, just kind of wanting to do that.
Also, what they do is, when they kill off characters, they got to introduce you to some new ones, right? So we lost Eric and Eric last week, which was
Yep.
pretty sad to see him take his own life after he killed his brother.
Oh,
But what
man.
do? They introduce Alicent's brother, who hasn't been shown for the duration of the series, and now we got him to deal with. And he was with Criston, but Kristen's like, "Yo, we're not covered right now by clouds." And then they see the dragon, and I'm like, "What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" But she was told not to engage, so she did what she was told to do, Bayla.
She just went right up to that line. She like didn't engage, but she definitely,
She scared them.
got in. Yeah, she got into a little moment where she could have engaged. So number 4 on the list, we have Damon getting to Harrenhal. And just this entire sequence was like a huge what the fuck for me, because Harrenhal is just completely decimated. And I'm sure fans
Hmm.
of the books already knew that this is what it was going to look like. But to me, I was expecting, they're hyping it up. Even from last season, they're talking about how important this is, how crucial it is. It's like the pivotal point of the Riverlands.
It can hold a lot of soldiers. It can house
Yeah, because
them.
it's so large. They kind of turn it into like a haunted house, like spooky Halloween theme almost. There's like
Hmm.
bats and stuff for a second, but then it's almost a comedic scene in itself. Like there's weird comedic tones to the whole scene.
Yeah,
And
like when
then
they were calling him Prince, and he was like, "Your Grace, Your Grace."
yeah, this is a small sub what the fuck inside of this, but we got the original actress for Rhaenyra back, which is Millie
Hmm.
Alcock, which is so cool to see her again. I loved her in the first season. She's so phenomenal. We're gonna see her again
Supergirl.
as Supergirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so cool. I'm excited. So it was cool to see her back again, even just for the quick little cameo. And then Damon having the vision. I can't even remember. Oh, it was the witch. I think it's the witch of Harrenhal. I don't know if
Yep.
she's an actual witch. Like
Yep.
Melisandre was a witch, but she's kind of in
It
that
reminded me
same
of
vein.
her. Reminded me of
Yeah,
her.
it
Yeah.
did. Her telling him that he is going to die in this place.
There.
And
Yeah. So when?
yeah. What did you think of that?
I feel like that's true. He's going to
You
die there.
think?
That yeah, usually when they say stuff like that on Thrones, it's gonna happen. So like
Yeah.
whether it's this season or next or I don't the thing is, I think Damon's such a strong character that if you kill him now, it really hurts the show. He's
Yep.
he's one of the best parts of the show, in my opinion. You love to hate
Matt
him.
Smith.
Matt Smith,
Yeah.
he's great. He's just so
Yeah.
good. So like if they decide to go down the road to kill him this season, I'd be surprised. But I think when he dies, it'll be there. That'll come true.
See, I think this was a play on words. I think they're doing something kind of sneaky because he's having all these flashbacks to like things that he has fucked up in his life and moments of failure. In the next episode, the trailer for the next episode, you see he has more visions there and he's seeing like the Iron Throne and things like that. So I think it's kind of a play on words where like the Daemon that we know is going to die in Harrenhal. Like
Okay.
he is going to see himself as he is and the mistakes that he's made, how he has led himself to be in the position that he is. Because I think up till now, he's kind of blaming everyone else. He's blaming Viserys for not being strong enough and Rhaenyra for not being strong enough and him for being the only person who knows like how to get things done. And even like, I guess the first, because we both just binged the first season, but that scene where he like 1v
Yeah.
30s, like a bunch of
Stepstones.
guys. Oh my God,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
sick scene.
That was
Like, I
great.
think he believes he's that guy for all things. He's like, I can handle this. That's why he shows up to Harrenhal in the first place, because he's like, I'm gonna take this all alone.
By
I don't need
himself.
anybody
Yeah.
else. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think we will see the death of that Damon, where he is like, I need to play the part of like who I need to play the part of. I don't need to be the person that is doing everything and accomplishing everything. I can rely on others and just like be a part of Rhaenyra's entire like team to like get her into the position she needs to be for the good of everyone else instead of just trying to fight for himself essentially all the time.
Like a
Yeah.
metaphorical death. All right. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
I
be
hope because I
very
like him too much.
surprised. Yeah. I'd be very surprised if they kill him off this season. I think Kristen
Yeah.
will die, but I doubt he will this season. I
I,
just can't
I
see it.
feel like I want Kristen to die, but he's just such a bitch, and those characters always last so long in Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
You're right.
The ones you hate are always the ones they drag out for so long.
Like,
But
Clubfoot, he's going to be around forever.
oh
He's going
man,
to be around
yeah,
forever, that guy.
I despise the second I saw that dude in the first season, I was like, not you. Please not you.
He'll be
It just
around.
keeps coming back. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like Littlefinger, but just a little more annoying.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And now we have our last and biggest what the moment of this episode. And it's a moment that everyone has been waiting for since episode 9 of season 1. We finally get Rhaenyra and Alicent meet up. Rhaenyra dresses up as a septa so she can get into the church and she can finally be one-on-one with Alicent without, being killed or worse, I guess. And then we have the moment where I didn't even know if they were going to do it because Alicent starts talking and she kind of is like leaning towards saying what Viserys was saying as he died.
Yep.
And Rhaenyra doesn't quite pick up on it. And I was waiting for her to be like, what did he say exactly? But they just string it out a little long and then we finally get to it. She's like, wait, what did he exactly say? Then Alicent tells her exactly what she says, and you just see the look on Rhaenyra's face, like, oh fuck.
Did he say?
Oh,
did he
shit.
say the prince that was promised? Is that what he said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Song of Ice and Fire, and you
Yep.
just see the look on Alicent's face, and she's kind of like, yes, and then she
Yes.
explains he was talking about Aegon the Conqueror,
Yes.
not Aegon the Second, not your son. That is a story that he has told his whole life.
And I believe while he was dying, I think he thought he was talking to Rhaenyra at the time, not Alicent.
Definitely. Yeah.
So she just got her wires crossed, and that's where we're in this position because of that.
Yep. You just watch her face slowly realize what just happened and what she did. And then I guess even in a bigger what the fuck moment when she gets up and she's like, doesn't matter. It wasn't a mistake. Doesn't matter. It's done. Which is essentially to me, her being like, I put my son on the throne because I misunderstood something. And now it's so far gone that I can't even fix this issue. I could tell everyone I wanted, and it will not make a fucking difference. Yep.
Yeah, she was there trying to stop the war from going on, and she's like, it's too late. The war's already happening. It's going to go down.
Madness.
Which, and respect to Alicent for not calling the guards and capturing Rhaenyra right there. Because she easily could have done that. So respect to her for that. But, it's going to go down.
I like their little exchange at the start, too, when she pulls the knife.
Yeah, she's like, what
are you going to do? Like, you're going to kill me and then what? She's like, I don't know. We got off to a bad start.
Let's start over.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What happens if you kill her? You die. So that was probably the biggest what the fuck moment of the season so far, for sure. I guess if you don't count babies being done in. I don't even know if you can say that on YouTube. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
You guys know.
But yeah, that was a pretty huge moment. But for story wise, I think this has been the biggest what the fuck moment in the series for me so far.
It was good.
Yeah,
I did a little reading. I didn't want to get too spoiled, but I do know that Rhaenyra is the 8th great grandmother of Daenerys. I guess somewhere along the line she wins. I don't know who becomes king next after Aegon. I have no idea, but I guess somewhere along the line she wins because that would mean the Mad King is also her descendant, Yep. Because the Mad King was Daenerys' father. So we're gonna get to that point somewhere, and it's pretty cool to see how this all kind of started and all the incest that goes with the Targaryen family. Kind of makes you a little crazy. It's just there's so much incest.
A little bit. It's so much.
Yeah,
just married sisters and cousins and uncles. Aegon's
married to his sister. Rhaenyra's married to her uncle, and then her uncle's kids are sworn to marry her kids from previous marriages. And it's just like, and now they're mad. It's so weird. But,
it's no wonder they ended up with a psychotic king eventually, like 8 generations down. You got any predictions for next week?
Next week? No. My big prediction is that Criston dies this season.
Okay. So I've already seen the trailers. Everything's about to kick off. We're going to see a lot of fighting next week, which will be cool. Nice. And my prediction is that Rhaenys, which is like the sea snake's wife, the older lady, I think she's going to die. I think she's going to die fighting Vhagar. Yeah, that's my prediction for next week.
Yeah, that would be big.
That'd be a good character. I know that'll be a big one. And she was really like highlighted this week. That's why I was thinking
it's true.
Kind of fits. And there's a few like shots of dragons fighting, and her dragon was in there on the trailer. So I'm like, okay.
So Aemond rides him. So Aemon's going to be responsible for her death?
Yeah, I think Aemond or
Aemond.
I think Aegon. Aegon's riding his dragon in the trailer too, which means he's setting out to go fuck some shit up. So one of those two. That's my prediction for next week. If you guys have any predictions, leave them in the comments, but no spoilers because I know some of you know everything that happens in this universe already.
Yeah.
I used to watch tons of Game of Thrones videos, hours and hours. If you guys know who Alt History X is,
Yep,
Great
I
stuff.
do.
If you want to know more about the Game of Thrones universe, go check out his channel. But we will be back next week with another top 5 what the moments of episode 4. I feel like there's going to be a lot more just based on the trailer and where everything's leading to. So it's going to be a good one. If you guys haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment below about what you thought the biggest what the fuck moment of this episode was. And we will see you next week. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.